Good evening. How y'all feeling? How y'all feel?
Says your immersive experience has been hijacked. It is highly recommended that you disconnect.
Welcome to the immersive experience where we deep dive into the thoughts and emotions that shape our lives. Whether you're joining us live or catching the replay, we're thrilled to have you here. Today, we're tackling the topic that hits close to home for many of us: the lies we tell ourselves and the journey towards genuine self improvement. As Denzel Washington wisely said, without commitment, you'll never start, but more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. This quote perfectly sets the stage for our discussion on the importance of discipline and the power of staying true to our goals. All right, perfect. So, y'all, welcome in. I can't wait to delve into this topic because, I be lying to myself. And listen, I am an honest person. And I hope that other people be honest as hell too, because for me, I think that it's important to be honest with yourself. And I think that if we are not honest, then we run into areas where we do not progress in the way that we would like to progress ourselves. We kind of hold ourselves back because when you are in fact not honest with yourself, then you can't make shit shake. You really can't move nothing because you ain't being honest about what the root of the issue is. So it's gonna keep coming up. It's gonna keep popping up. So until you take care of the true issue and whatever that is that lies in your roots, you gotta heal the root first, honey. That's what you gotta do. Because if the root is infected, it's gonna continue to infect the entire tree. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. So today we're gonna explore the concept of self-deception and the barriers it creates in our path to personal growth. We'll discuss why it's easier to distract ourselves with emotions and other people rather than doing the hard work necessary for change. Yes, because it's easy to stay stuck in the habit. That's why we rather do that instead. You know what I'm saying? So don't worry about it. You should already know. That's why you do what you do, because it's easy. That's why they say it's hard to break a habit. But it don't gotta be hard to break a habit, y'all. You just gotta be consistent. You gotta have that discipline. You feel me? These is two big things that you must carry with you. If you don't have consistency and you don't have discipline, then you're never gonna reach the goal. You're never gonna get to where you're trying to get to. It's gonna continue to keep falling apart. And whether you understand that it's you or you think it's somebody else, one thing you do know is that something gotta change. So I want to talk about self-deception and its impact. So, give me a minute. Sorry about that. So, we want to talk about, I want to define self-deception for you guys, but I feel like y'all know, you should know what self-deception is. It's exactly that. If you're deceitful in your ways, or if you're not, you're lying. That's that's what that is. You lying. And don't be up here lying to yourself. What you lying for? You're grown. Nobody's gonna whoop your ass. Nobody's gonna do all of these things that you think they're gonna do. You're grown. Understand that. So you have to respond to your abilities and take responsibility for the things that you allow to happen within your life. And we are not speaking on circumstances that are out of your control. We're thinking on things that are definitely within your control, something that you can handle, something that you can take care of, something that if you needed to move something around, you understand that you can move it around, but you're choosing not to because this is how you're prioritizing the situation. All right, so self-deception is when we trick ourselves into believing something that isn't true, often to avoid facing uncomfortable truths or to feel better about ourselves. Mm. So, I want to talk about some common forms of deception, of self-deception. And if you have some ideas of what some common forms of self-deception are, you can go ahead and put them in the comments. I'd love to read them. So I'm going to go with rationalization. And you know what that is. That's making excuses for your actions or feelings to make them seem more acceptable. You want to be able to accept what you did more. And so you rationalize, you know what I'm saying? So let's say you go to an interview and you say that the interviewer was biased. But really, in truth, the true case was that you just wasn't prepared. You didn't prepare yourself. Let me tell you, before I go to an interview, I'm the type of person that I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna research the company first of all. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna do all of that. I'm gonna look at their motto. I'm gonna look at what my job is gonna be. Some of things I'm gonna do the work. And so when I go to an interview, they start asking me questions. I'm incorporating their motto into what they asking me. I'm doing all types of stuff because I want to make it seem like I'm competent. I need to get my foot in the door. If you say you selling yourself, this how you selling yourself. Put your foot in the door, and you have to do it confidently. And the only way to do that is to make sure that you are prepared. You have knowledge on this. And think about the things that you could take from other areas in your life and you could still utilize them. Because where you applied some knowledge at in one part of your life, you can use it in another part of your life or another area, like job, career, or business, whatever. Are those the same thing? Probably. So, and then another common form of rationalization, another common form of self deception is denial. So refusing to accept reality or facts. You know how we be talking about how people be walking around here all delulu or whatever y'all want to call it? They live in delusions. You're living in delusions. So this is another form of self deception, denial. Stop denying things. Stop saying that something is what it is and it's not. It really is what it isn't. It's not that. Refusing to accept reality or facts. Look at what's in front of you. Ignoring the signs that your relationship is in trouble and convincing yourself that everything is fine. It's not fine. The house is burning down. What are you doing? Get out of there. Why do you want to be there? Get out. You're going to die. But so then we'll talk about minimization. So minimizing something, downplaying the importance of something. So telling yourself that eating junk food just this once isn't a big deal, even though you're trying to eat healthy. You have to be the person that is disciplining yourself. And it's not okay because this is the thing that the more you lie to yourself, the less you become. This why you can't trust your instincts because you keep lying to yourself. So now when your instinct kicking at your chest, you can't trust it because you don't lie to yourself all of these times. Like, is this me? Is this really what I'm thinking? Is this really how I'm feeling? Is it shaped? And this how you become that overthinker. Stop lying to yourself. Get with the program. The only way you could get better at something is if you actually tell yourself the truth. Start with the truth. Then, after you tell yourself the truth, now you got to accept the truth. And that should be hard. It'd be hard. You feel me? Because you try to paint this picture of who you want yourself to be or who you think that you are, but the picture that you're painting is a false picture. This is not who you actually are. You tell yourself that you're going to get up at 5 a.m. and you're going to go jogging every morning, but you're not a morning person. What do you mean? How are you going to do that? You're not being realistic. You're being idealistic. And we don't need to be idealistic if we want to be serious about the endeavors that we're going to take. You understand what I'm saying? And listen, I'm speaking from experience. Actually, I'm speaking from the here and now. Like, listen, no, like, it's something that I have to tell myself consistently to push myself to go. And so sometimes it's not always about just being motivated, but it's more about being consistent. It's about Don't let's not I'm not saying that motivation is not a thing, but motivation will come. You just have to be consistent in your endeavors. You just have to keep doing the things that you stated that you're going to do. Just because somebody else fell off the bandwagon don't mean that, oh, now you could fall off the bandwagon. No, this is what you said you're going to do. If you said that you're going to get up and run a mile, even though little Sally Sue says she not coming to run a mile, baby, you still need to go and run the mile. Go run the mile. What are you doing? This is not break time. This is not a drill. No, run the mile. I ain't running no mile. What you talking about? I ain't never said that. Projection is also another form of self deception, a common form of self deception. So, projection is blaming others for your own feelings or behaviors. So, accusing someone else of being lazy when you're actually the one who hasn't been productive at all. You ain't did nothing. You ain't even got up and started getting dressed. You ain't even started putting your clothes on, nothing. And you telling other people that they lazy because they ain't started doing nothing. Or they not cleaning up. Or they not, but you doing the same thing. And that is what's wrong with a lot of us. We think that we can lead people by telling them like, no, do what I say, not as I do. But I promise you, the best teacher is a person who can lead by example. If you could put yourself in the shoes and show somebody like, no, you can actually be this consistent, no, you can actually be this person, then that's going to show them that it's possible because I'm seeing you do it. But this why people think that relationships don't work. This why people think that relationships fail because they've seen it a million and one times. These are rare. It's rare anomaly. I was finna sound like little Nemo. Anemone. It's an anomaly. It's a rare anomaly. Let me slow it down. That thing beat my ass. It's a rare anomaly when you see a relationship that was really, and then even then you'll still try to poke holes in it because you can't believe it. You feel me? So that's why you will crucify something because it's unreal to you because you've never seen it. You've never seen it happen. But the moment you start being true with yourself, the moment you start being honest with yourself, then everything that you could possibly want to happen, it could start happening. Because you could start telling yourself, like, man, I'm not really ready to stop eating meat. I'm not really ready to stop doing that. But if you try and just take it a small step at a time, like, let me just see if I could go a day without eating meat. Let me just see if I could. And that's a small step. You feel me? Like, dang, I went a whole 24 hours. If I could do 24 hours without eating meat, I'm sure I could do 2 days without eating meat. Then, and this is how you start to learn to discipline yourself, to wean yourself off of things. Because right now, your body isn't necessarily telling you, like, I need this. No, I need this. Like, what do you mean? I have to have this. So you crave these things because you've always had these things. But the moment you decide to say, let me put this down, let me get serious about something, let me tell you something. You understand how your hustle work when you in a bind, when you in a crunch. And this is what you do understand. So you understand that if your lights finna get turned off tomorrow, you got 24 hours to do what you need to do to make this happen. And then think about the things that you do unconsciously. You could be stressed about a whole bunch of shit and you won't eat nothing. You won't even taste no food. You won't touch it, do none of that. So this is something that you could understand that I am capable of doing it, but I'm only capable of doing it when I'm on autopilot, when my mind is stressed out about something else. Now, if you took a few seconds to focus your brain, to focus your mind, to allow it to penetrate just one thing at a time, one moment at a time, you understand what I'm saying? Then a focused energy can make things happen. Um, when your mind is everywhere, this ADHD, you can't get things accomplished because you're easy to forget and you're okay with forgetting. And what will you do? You'll chalk it up to, oh, it's just my ADHD. And indeed, maybe it is. But the fact that you're aware that it's your ADHD, when you catch it, do something about it. The only way to stop, the only way, not even to stop entropy from happening, but the only way to combat entropy is to exert much effort. So you must keep exerting effort. Be patient with yourself. You're doing something that you have never done before. Do you understand what I'm saying? You haven't done this before. So go slow. Give yourself that grace. The same things that you show everybody else, the same grace that you say that kids need because they're still learning. Haha, you need it too, because you're still learning. You think that by the time you're 43 you have it all figured out. No, you don't. I'll be 88 still having moments where I'm like, "Oh my god, it's crazy." And that's in just like 30 years that I'll be 88. I can't believe it either. It's been a long time coming, but in just a few years, I'll be 80 something. And I'll be looking up and one of these children will be telling me something, and my mind will be, I didn't even know. It'll probably turn to dust by the time they tell me what they need to tell me. I don't know. All right. So, also another common form of self-deception is compartmentalizing. I know I just went down a whole little rabbit hole. Thanks for staying with me. Compartmentalizing is keeping conflicting thoughts or feeling separate to avoid feeling conflicted. So you keep your thoughts and your feelings separated because you don't want to feel conflicted, basically. So you can't say, I always use this analogy, but you can't say that you don't support murder, but then you support the troops. Indeed, you still support murder. You understand what I'm saying? And I'll even take it a little darker. No, no, I won't. I'm not gonna do it. But anyways, and also wishful thinking is another form of common self-deception. That wishful thinking that we do, that you are deceiving yourself again. You're lying to yourself because you're believing something that you want to be true. It's not actually true. This is wishful thinking. It's not there. It's not there. What are you doing? You have to go build it, honey. Go build it. Go get it. Get your tools, little Bob the Builder. Bob the Builder, can we fix it? Bob the Builder, yes, we can. You got it, guys. You got it. All right. So I want to give you a few of the ones. I think some of these were uncommon, which is selective memory. Selective memory is a way that we can deceive ourselves, saying that things just happened and you weren't thinking about it. But indeed, if you think about it long enough, if you focus yourself long enough, and this is the thing why most of us can't sit alone with our thoughts. We'd be afraid of what the fuck we finna find. Bitch, you did let that happen. You definitely did. You did that. You did. So stop. How you make that better? People often make promises to themselves that they don't keep for several reasons. And understanding these can help us break the cycle of self deception and make real progress. This is what I'm saying. This is how honest you have to be with yourself to get to wherever you're trying to go. Where are you trying to get to? And then, if you evaluate where you're trying to get to, then I want you to process the steps that you're taking to get to where you're trying to get to and tell me if they add up. This makes me think about the podcast where we talked about words, intentions, and actions. So you could tell yourself one thing all the time. So I know y'all think that words got a lot of power, but it's not until you start putting the intention and the actions behind them that those words become true. So you have to move in the manner that the words were spoken in order for it to start happening, and understand why things work the way they work, because it becomes subconscious in your mind and you lock that shit away, and now you're fighting something subliminally and you don't even remember, or at least you tell yourself that you don't remember. But if you go back and you think about it and you ask yourself, what ways am I feeding into the words of the people who told me that I wasn't good enough? And then ask yourself, how do I combat this? We don't challenge ourselves enough. We be too scared to challenge ourselves. Challenge yourself. Do something about it. act on it. The time is now. Do it. Okay? That's what you got to do. Why people make promises they don't keep? Don't overestimate your willpower. You cannot do that. Don't overestimate your willpower. People often believe they have more self control than they actually do. And you know you don't got none. You don't got no self control at all. And you over here overestimating, saying you're going to do something. And you know you're not going to do it. It's just what I talked about earlier, stating that you're going to get up at 5 a.m. in the morning. And you know you're not a morning person. You're not getting up at 5 a.m. You're going to. But I do know that there are people who have the ability to flip that switch like that, though. Like some people do. But I know that a lot of people, what they say that a habit is hard to break. So I'm not saying that it's not possible for you to do these things. I'm just stating that start with yourself where you are, understand what you are capable of. If you have that mental ability, and we all have this mental ability, we just haven't focused hard enough to, I'm gonna say the ugliest word, hone it. You have to cultivate your skill. You understand what I'm saying? So if it is an ability that you have to understand the ability first in order to use it properly. So cultivate it. And this goes back to being honest with yourself, telling yourself the truth. And I mean the raw truth. People be so afraid of the truth because it's gone. Oh, I don't like the way it sounded. Fuck it. Did you hear the lesson? Did you get it? Did you get the lesson? Thank you, Jay. I appreciate it. And hi, how are you? And that's, dang, got me blushing or something. But, and that's how that works. You have to, get the, you got to be real with yourself. Don't be sitting up here saying you're going to get up at 5 in the morning. You're not. So fear of failure. I think that's a pretty big one. I think we all lie to ourselves or sabotage or something of that nature because we are afraid that we are going to fail. So the fear of not succeeding can lead to people making promises as a way to feel proactive. And we just want to feel good about something, even though we know we're not going to follow through. So promising to start a new project, but never actually beginning because the fear of failing is too overwhelming. Yeah. So, but nah, that's the thing though. No, for real. I do that all the time. So like when I be writing stuff, when I write stuff down, I just know like I'm really talking to me. Like I'm gonna tell you like, thank you. I'm gonna tell you like when I write things, I'm always talking to myself. You understand what I'm saying? Because this is coming from me. And what I like to tell people is that your subconscious doesn't know anybody but you. So there's nothing else that you could like this when you talking, it's all from a repertoire of what you know, whether it be through lifetimes, ancestors, bloodline, whatever it is that you know it. You have access to all knowledge. And I know y'all probably hate to believe that, but you do. Anything that you want to know the answer to, you already have it. Because 9 times out of 10, you created the problem. So that's why you have the answer. That's why they say if something exists, a solution exists. So any problem that you create, you can solve because you have the solution because you created it. So you know how to undo it. You made it. Even if you wasn't paying attention when you made it. This is how you undo it. That's why people are tinkerers. That's why they put things together. That's why they take things apart. If you put you together and take you apart, but here's the thing, a lot of us start taking us apart and we don't know how to put us back together. That's why you must go in and learn yourself. And you can't lie to yourself to really get to know yourself. If you lie to yourself, this was one thing I used to say to myself. Oh, I hate a liar. I hate a liar. And I used to think to myself, like, but I'm lying. And I said to myself, I said, dang, I hate me. And I was young. I was really young. These are the kind of questions that used to pop in my head. I ain't never been no little baby that was like, I've always liked the deep end of life. I always had questions. And people used to tell me like, dang, that's deep. And I was like, that's deep. It's just a why. And your question was simple as hell. And what you just explained was probably simple as hell, but why you feel like that? And that's what I be wanting to know. People want to talk about everything else. I don't want to talk about everything else. I want to talk about you. Tell me about you. Because a lot of people don't get the opportunity to talk about themselves. So if I give you the space to talk about yourself more, to express yourself more, I'm teaching you how to, and not even that I'm teaching you, you're teaching yourself really because you're just opening up more. I'm giving you the safe place to do so. And if I give you that safe place long enough, when you start interacting with other people, you'll carry that safe place with you and understand like, I'm just speaking my mind because somebody was patient enough, gentle enough, showed enough care and attention to detail to see you, to get to know you. And whether it be in a friendship, whether it be, i.e., whatever. Okay. So, and then another thing that, another reason why people don't keep promises is because of instant gratification. We want it right now. And the fact that I want happen right now, I want it to happen right now. And the fact that I have to, and it's delayed gratification, I'm not doing it. What do you mean? I gotta wait. I gotta wait. I'm not doing it. Are you crazy? Hello, Tiffany. How you feeling? How you feel, love? So, and that's another thing. So, the option of watching TV instead of studying for an important exam, and then you're gonna get in the exam room and you're gonna be so upset that you're not passing this test. You understand what I'm saying? But you were the one who decided to watch TV instead of study so you could get an A. Girl, everybody gotta wait. I'm about to cuss who waits. We all do. And we all wait in different capacities in real life. So even if that's you, if you thinking like somebody gonna come along, they gonna treat me like I'm supposed to, they gonna do what this economy is gonna get better. If that is not instant gratification, that is delayed. Girl, I know they painted real pretty too, girl. Post a pic. Nah, but for real. And I'ma just shout out to Juicy Jane because I'm a Janie. I don't know if you guys know that, but let me go ahead and shout her out. But if you don't follow her, you can follow her on Juicy Jane here on Facebook and Tik. If you got any other places, make sure you drop your link in the comments so they can. Make sure y'all check her out. I love networking. So hey, Nunu, how you feeling? How you feel? I love you too. Loving y'all. Thanks for the love tonight, y'all. I feel it. I feel it. Oh, girl, yes. I support big time. I don't care what nobody's talking about. Like, I'm always gonna support. And I love me a bad bitch. You feel me? That's just all I'm gonna say. But so yeah, we fall into instant gratification. So instead of doing what we supposed to do and not following through because we thinking period. Cause we thinking that cause it's delayed. I don't gotta study right now. This is what procrastination is. This why we wait so long to do something that we know we're supposed to do. Because I could do it the day before and now we cramming. Now we trying to remember things that we know we should have taken care of in the first place and we ain't even taking care of that shit. So don't do that, y'all. Don't do that. Don't do that no more. So, lack of clear planning. Well, and spontaneity is a thing. I'm going to say that because I am a person that loves spontaneity. But it takes certain resources to be as spontaneous as you really want to be. I mean, unless you're going to the beach or something. You have to prioritize things. You know what I'm saying? So, a gram, you feel me? No, yes. So, lack of clear planning. Without a clear plan, it's easy to lose motivation and direction. Vague promises are harder to keep because, okay, I need to fly out. Is that where I'm coming to? I'm trying to prepare myself to do way more traveling because these one of my manifestations, y'all. But something I'm gonna make happen. Fuck a manifestation. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. But for sure, but without a clear, yes, vague promises are harder to keep because you'll be sitting there fumbling through all the loopholes that you created for yourself to fumble through. So don't sit there and not plan it out. Start. How do you finish it? How do you start today? What is something that you could do today to start working towards the future? And then if you ask yourself that and you say nothing, Houston, we have a problem. Go back to the drawing board. And I don't care how stuck you get. There is something that you could do today to start planning for the future that you would like to see yourself in. That's it. Even if it's just getting up at certain times, making sure you do whatever you need to do, eating healthier, if it's going to work earlier because you want to get a promotion, I don't know what it is, whatever goals you got, whatever you're trying to accomplish, do better. Do better. That's how you'll start getting those goals that you're looking for. And even if you feel like it's something that you already great at and you getting looked over, then that means you need to probably consider something else, another job, another place of living, another anything that isn't feeding you, anything that isn't consistently pouring into you. Be honest with yourself. Anything that's not helping you, be honest with yourself and change the direction. And only you can make that. Only you can make that choice. Okay? Only you. Only you have the power to prevent forest fires. Do you understand that? You. That was the realest shit I ever heard. Now we need to talk about external influences. Don't be letting all these other people peer pressure you. Oh, don't let all these social expectations, keeping up with the Joneses. Don't let all that stuff stress you out. Don't let that stuff do that. Talking about let's take the going to work early out. Oh man, I'm just saying if you want a promotion at your job want to see that you could do this shit. Like, oh, you good at this, you could do this, you could make this work. Now we talking because your job like to see that you could work hard so they can take advantage of you. Never forget that, okay? Oh, they're a hard worker. Minimum wage it is. Don't give them any extra hours. So I understand. Nah, but no, my job treat me good, y'all. Y'all need better jobs. That's all I'm saying. As a matter of fact, they so good to me. I love my job. All right, so let's talk about how self-perception prevents real progress. So, right, we know how self-deception prevents real progress. You can't get nothing accomplished. You lying to yourself. I said this when I first came home. What you finna accomplish while you lying to yourself? If y'all ain't never heard the 12 steps of the AA meeting, read it, apply it to everything. First, admit that you have a problem. We be so quick to shoot things away when somebody tell us what's wrong with us. If somebody tell us how they see us or how they feel about us, because we quick to get in our feelings. And the only reason why we get in our feelings is to forget the things that we actually got to take care of. And the only reason why we get in our feelings is to forget the things that we actually got to take care of, the things that we actually got to work on to become the person that we trying to become. You're going to lie to yourself. You're going to lie to yourself so you don't have to do the work. You're going to lie to yourself so you can feel comfortable in the position that you've been in that's been getting you nowhere. You ain't got nowhere. You ain't did nothing. And you ain't did and you've been running in circles. And this entire time you've been running in circles for no reason. Because it's up to you. What I said, only you could prevent forest fires, honey. You. Don't burn the forest down and blame everybody else. You did this. It's your fault. So that you creating a false sense of security, believing your own excuses can make you feel like you're doing something when you're not. You're indeed doing nothing at all. This false sense of progress prevents you from taking real effective action. So you ain't doing nothing. Because the action just got you hammering nails when you're supposed to be setting up the structure, pouring when you're supposed to be pouring concrete, but you hammering nails. What you doing? The wrong shit. I don't work in construction, but I hope that analogy is real. That's what I hope. That's what I really hope it is. Real. So, um, then also these talking about these. What we talking about? Well, I'm talking about these. So right. Why people often make promises to themselves that they don't keep. That's what we talking about. I lost myself. But yeah, no, and it erodes. That's not what we talking about. But however, it erodes self trust as well. So what is we talking about? That's crazy. But anyways, it so yeah, it is why we make promises that we don't keep. Yeah, okay. So it erodes self trust. When you repeatedly break promises to yourself, I went over this earlier. If when you repeatedly break promises to yourself, you start to lose trust in your own commitments. You stop, oh, I didn't go over this earlier. You start to lose trust in your own commitments because you know you cannot trust yourself. You know that you'll tell yourself anything that you need to hear to survive. And it's a bunch of bullshit because you're not finna do shit about it. You're not. And that's just the truth. You just telling yourself something that you need to hear to feel good in the moment to get past the moment. But the real answer is to be honest with yourself in that moment so you can actually do what you need to do to overcome the moment. So it's just not some placebo, it's actually a remedy. Now you can start getting better. What Malcolm X said, just because if you got a knife 9 inches in my back and you only pull it out 6 inches, it ain't progress. Cause I still ain't healing. I can't you got to take the knife out so the healing could begin. You have to first accept that the knife is in you. And once you accept that the knife is in you, then we can start. We need to take the knife out. So now you can properly heal. So you can do what you need to do to become the person that you need to become. And stop avoiding accountability. Y'all don't be wanting to take accountability. You have to. You have to be accountable for your actions. You have to hold yourself accountable. You be lying to yourself. Stop lying to yourself. Self deception allows you to avoid facing the consequences of your actions. What you doing? You have to face your actions. You have to face what you did. If this is something that you did, you have to take accountability for it. You can't sit up there and say that this not that. It is and it's yours. Take it, accept it, do something about it. Without accountability, there's no pressure to involve or change behaviors. Hello. So you're going to keep doing the same thing. Let's go back into the relationship world. That's why men are so mad. That's why they be talking to us women like we crazy and they all think we fit in the same box. And we're going to talk about that one of these days. But I'm just going to say this. They think that women don't know how to accept accountability. And maybe we don't. And maybe we do. But the thing is that it's just different people that exist. It's that. It is. Some people can accept accountability and some people can't. If you like a person who accepts accountability, that should tell you a lot about yourself. What that mean? What kind of person do you need? A person that accepts accountability. And if you're not going to go and get yourself a person that accepts accountability, then what are you really doing? You're playing. You're playing in your ass and you're creating a forest fire that you're not going to own up to when it's time to take it. You're going to say, I didn't create that forest fire. And you're holding the gasoline and the lighter. You know, and I'm not going to even say lighter. You're holding matches. You just struck it and threw it out there so you could forget about it. Out of sight, out of mind. And then when the forest started burning down, you'll be like, oh my God, How this happened? Had to be the weather. No, bitch, it was you. It's not the weather. It was you. You did this. You set this forest on fire. And now you need to put it out. I hope you have a water hose big enough. I hope you have enough water. Baby, you better pray to the gods to send the rain. Fuck. Do something about it. I know you are, but what am I? No. um, So the reason why we could continue to lie to break promises to ourselves is because we reinforce negative patterns. So by lying to yourself, you reinforce the habits and behaviors that you're trying to change. You lie to yourself. You just simply everything is still the same because you lying to yourself. You don't because you say that you're gonna change it, but then you don't ever change it. What you doing? What you trying to do? What you trying to accomplish? You really trying to get somewhere? You really trying to do something about how you feel about yourself? Or is you sitting here stuck making excuses for yourself, saying that it's everything else, that it's your job, that it's these things that's keeping you from doing and accomplishing the things that you really want to accomplish? Stop blaming other people. See yourself for who you really is. See yourself that you lazy, that you not getting up, that you're a procrastinator, that you don't have any patience, you have no discipline, and you prefer to frolic in life than getting up and taking action and making a change. And start there. Understand that. Even if it's just getting up and stretching a little bit in the morning, even if it's challenging yourself, just like I said earlier, 24 hours out of the day, do something different. You've been doing the same shit and it ain't been getting you nowhere. And you mad, you depressed, you frustrated, you aggravated with life at the choices that you consistently choose to make. It's a choice. You're choosing to do this. You want to do better? Show me you want to do better. Act like you want to do better. Proceed in life like you want to do better. But you refuse to do that. So, this makes it harder to break negative cycles and establish new positive habits. So you need to break the cycles, set realistic goals because you got to be real with yourself. So be realistic, start where you can start and create a clear plan. Seek accountability. Stop stop running from it. If you did it, you did it. It's just that. It is what it is. If that's what a person listen, I don't care how you like to see it. I don't care what your gray is, how you like to mince words or whatever the case may be. Accept it however you flow. Solidify it some type of way. Because in the gray ain't shit solidified. So you need to solidify it. We gotta understand that we got gray areas, we got black and white. So don't just play in the gray. You said you want some shit to happen, what you want to happen. And if you always playing in the gray, you just running in circles. Pull what you needed to do, how you needed to work. I say I want my podcast to be better. I say I want my aesthetic to be better. I say I want to buy mics. I want to do all of these things. You putting the money away to do that? Are you putting things away to do that? What you're doing? You talking. You playing with yourself. And you're playing with yourself and you self-sabotaging yourself. You're setting yourself up for disappointment for what? Change it. Do better because you can. That's why they keep telling you when you know better, you do better. But you refuse to do better. You refuse to do something that is going to better you, that is going to help you. And you're afraid. You're afraid of failure. You're afraid of what? For what? All the greats failed at some point. If you're going to be great, you must first put yourself out there. They have to see you first. I have to know your capability. And if you never cultivate your skill, if you never become the person that you say you want to become, then you don't want to become that person. You have dreams of becoming a person. Where's your vision? How are you going to walk there? Tell me, show me. I'm done. You're done. I'm done lying to myself. I'm done telling myself that I'm capable of more and still doing less. Hello? What's there? There's nothing there. What are you doing? Who are you trying to impress in the dark? You tell me. You help me understand. So, by understanding why we make promises we don't keep and how self-deception hinders our progress, we can take meaningful steps toward genuine self-improvement. That's what we can do. So, understand why we make promises we don't keep. Why are you making promises you don't keep? Ask yourself that question. Why are you doing that? So, I'm gonna leave this right here, right there, just like that. And I'm going to thank you all for coming and talking to me today, sharing your ideas with me, telling me how good I look. Because I love to hear it, showing love. So I always appreciate y'all, always appreciate the support. So make sure you like, subscribe, tell your friends about it. If you have a conversation, a topic that you would like to talk about, send it in. I talk about all types of things. Let me study it first. Let me see what I can gather from it. But yeah, send it in. I want to talk about what you want to talk about. I want to talk about the things that's on your mind just as much as you want to talk about the things that's on your mind as well. Put it up there. Let's talk about it together. Give me tea and I will spill tea too. So we can have a tea session. No, we can have a development session. That's what the fuck we gonna have. But I want to leave you with this. By making self-reflection a regular practice, you can gain valuable insight into yourself. Learn from your experience and continuously grow and develop. It's a powerful way to stay aligned with your goals and values and to become the best version of yourself. And do that. Do exactly that. Go become the best version of yourself. Go become the person that you always wanted to be. Go do the things that you've always wanted to do. Do not let anything stop you. Make the necessary provisions that you need to make to do what you need to do to better yourself. Understand how you can start making your schedule work for you and the other people that you have to cater to. If you're a wife, if you are a mom, if you are any of those things, you have to make sure you put you into perspective, and you have to understand how to carry your duties and also create a life for yourself, to understand yourself, to have something within yourself with yourself. You understand what I'm saying? So don't neglect you. Don't leave you out. Don't stop chasing you. You chase everybody else, but you don't chase yourself. Don't stop chasing you. Don't stop figuring you out. Don't stop loving you. Don't stop questioning you. Don't stop challenging you. Continue to grow. Continue to become the person that you know you are meant to be. And thank you so much for tuning into the immersive experience. You all have an amazing night. I will see you Sunday. And thank you so much.